Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our show, number 1076, during which we'll get the lowdown on a great event, the Great Backyard Bird Count, in which we can all watch birds while helping science. Olivia Carvalho from Birds Canada will be with us to tell us all about it and how we can all join in. Mike O'Connor will be with us, too, for Let's Ask Mike Live with something a little bit different. The topic is Easter Island with a bird connection. And we'll have a listener-supplied audio postcard from a dirt road in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. Actually, this is a in the family audio postcard, as we'll discover. Well, our show is all about birds and conservation. We like to air a conservation quote from Henry David Thoreau from time to time. He said, "What is the good of a house if you haven't got a tolerable planet to put it on?" We've made our planet less tolerable for birds and all its inhabitants over many decades of environmental degradation, and we like to salute folks who are trying to help reverse the trend. Today we offer a conservation salute to a country, and that would be Germany, where solar power has overtaken coal and gas as the number one producer of electricity. And this comes after the country started shutting down their nuclear plants, causing many to think they'd go back to using more coal and gas. But instead, they've ramped up the production and use of clean, renewable solar energy. And that's in a country not known for getting a lot of sunshine. So way to go, Germany. Next week, by the way, we'll have a couple of stories about how electric vehicles are helping to clean the air in Japan and in China. And this is our mystery bird. The contest later in the show. Every week we do a mystery bird contest. We give some clues and a description, and then award some beautiful prizes if you get the right answer, or win as a result of a drawing if we don't get an exactly correct answer. Our mystery bird is a medium-sized songbird with a gray back, white throat, chest, and belly. Its head is gray with a black mask and a heavy hooked black bill. Our bird, which winters over pretty much the entire southern half of the U.S. and down into Mexico, breeds across the north central and northwestern U.S. and large areas across Canada. It behaves like a raptor, hunting prey from an elevated perch, diving onto prey. To immobilize large prey items, it will impale them on sharp objects like thorns and barbed wire, or tuck them into forks between branches to save for later consumption. Not a lot of birds, I think, that would fit that description. That's our mystery bird. We'll do the contest a little bit later on, and beautiful prizes include a birding by ear course from Larkwire. These are highly customizable, game-based courses with ID tips from some of the world's best birders, and a uniquely effective approach to learning. So you can master bird sounds and have fun doing it. And from Fresh Cut Paper, makers of those beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets that are wilt-proof and crafted to last a lifetime. We have a certificate for 5 of these bouquets, and they really, really are beautiful, and also have a very small fraction of the carbon footprint of imported flowers. Prizes on the Mystery Bird Contest on this morning's show. Now a salute to another Talking Birds listener who has become a Talking Birds ambassador, helping us spread the word about the show and about birds and conservation. And thank you to Jill Hrynda Patton from Erie, Pennsylvania. Jill is a blind birder. She says, I found Talking Birds in January 2024 just by asking Google to play a podcast about birding. Love your show. It's very entertaining. Learn something new all the time. She says, I'm especially thankful for the information about birding festivals and birdability. My husband and I attended the biggest week in America birding festival and the Blind Birders Birdability event this past spring because of info you gave about the events. Well, I'm glad you got that info. And Jill, thank you for all your kind thoughts and for becoming a Talking Birds ambassador, helping us spread the good word about birds and birding for everybody. Again, just to become a Talking Birds ambassador, it is really easy. Go to talkingbirds.com, click where it says Get Involved at the top of the homepage, and the rest will be just as easy as that part. We'll send you a bunch of cards to hand out. And we also will send you, and maybe you have this instead if you prefer, we'll send you a virtual card that you can distribute electronically. Well, still to come today, we'll learn something about another of the great community science projects out there, the great backyard bird count. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike Live on that Easter Island topic. And up next, it's today's featured feathered friend, presented by the Bigger and Better BWD magazine, with each large format issue packed with beautiful photography, illustrations, and in-depth articles ranging from backyard birds to birding abroad. Experience birds up close with BWD at bwdmagazine.com. Today's featured feathered friend is a slender, spiky-crested star of the Southwest called the phainopepla. It's the northernmost representative of the mainly tropical Central American family, the silky flycatchers. The male's plumage is silky black, and in flight shows sharply contrasting white wing patches. The female is gray and displays paler wing edges in flight. This bird's common name is associated with its plumage. It's from the Greek phainopepla, meaning shining robe. Phainopeplas feed on various fruits, especially mistletoe berries in the sycamore and oak woodlands and desert washes of Arizona and California. They'll also sally out from high perches to catch flying insects. The phainopepla is known to mimic the songs of other species, including Gambel's quail, acorn woodpecker, American kestrels, and northern mockingbird. And here's a sample of its own song. How are phainopeplas doing? Although habitat loss due mainly to increased agricultural use has resulted in some population decline, because the bird's global birding population is more than 3 million, the Partners in Flight Conservation Assessment lists the species as being of low conservation concern. It's Phainopepla nitens, today's Talking Birds featured feathered friend, the phainopepla. Welcome again to our show, number 1076. Olivia Carvalho is the Community Engagement Specialist for Birds Canada, one of the 3 organizations, along with the Cornell Lab and National Audubon, coordinating the Community Monitoring Program, known as the Great Backyard Bird Count, taking place from February 13th through the 16th this year. And she joins us now to tell us about it and how we can take part in it. Good morning, Olivia.
Good morning, Ray. Thanks for having me.
It is indeed a pleasure. Great to have you, Olivia. So I think maybe one of the first things that folks might say about this is, great backyard bird count, and then there's Project Feeder Watch, and we might get a little bit mixed up between the two. How do you differentiate the two?
Yes, great question, and you can participate in both. So Project Feeder Watch is a North American monitoring program that runs from November 1st until the end of April every year. And this is the 39th season. So it spans across our whole winter. And participants count the birds from the same location, their dedicated count site, as often as once a week during that season. Where the Great Backyard Bird Count is different is that it's a global bird count. So this is open to everybody around the world. And it happens over a single weekend. And that weekend weekend is the President's Day weekend in the United States or the Family Day weekend in Canada, February 13th to 16th this year. And participants, where it differs is they can count from anywhere they like. It does not have to be your backyard or a dedicated count site. You can go anywhere where birds are likely to be seen and count for as little as 15 minutes at any point during that 4-day count period. So there's no registration required. This is perfect for busy birders. It's a very small time commitment. And like I said, both programs, great places to improve your bird knowledge and get to know the birds in your area while experiencing the joys of winter birding.
Wow, you make it pretty easy here, including that, maximum or minimum 15-minute time expense to do it. And as you say, it's worldwide. And earlier you told me the number of people who participated last year. Could you tell us that? Because it's pretty spectacular.
Yes, we had over 900,000 submissions come in globally over that 4-day period.
Wow.
So a lot of birds were seen last year.
Wow, 900,000. That is absolutely incredible. And now folks who use Merlin and eBird, of course, eBird is responsible for lots of more folks being involved in birding all over the world. Tell us a little bit about how you can use Merlin and eBird to kind of assist you in the great backyard bird count process.
Yes, absolutely. So either tool can be used to enter your submissions during the backyard bird count. This is a really simple event to join because there's no registration required and participation is super fun. All you have to do is decide where you're going to watch birds. And, that could be from your back window watching your feeder. That could be heading to a place with some open water and enjoying waterfowl in the winter. A wooded area, wetland, community park, conservation area, totally up to you. But once you pick where you're going to watch birds, go out for at least 15 minutes or more over the 4-day period. That's February 13th to 16th. And then you're going to identify all the birds that you see or hear within your planned time or location, and then decide what the best tool for you is to submit your sightings to us. So if you're a beginner birder, you mentioned Merlin. The Merlin Bird ID app is excellent because it allows you extra tools if you're not quite as confident in the birds that you might be seeing or hearing. There's some great ID features built into that app. If you're a more experienced birder or you've used eBird before, you can use eBird to record the number of birds that you're seeing or hearing. And if you're not someone that uses a smartphone, you can also record on paper. You can do a tally sheet and enter it through the eBird website on your computer when you get home. So you don't have to use a smartphone in order to participate.
So the data is so important here, and how do you get a chance to figure out how accurate the data is? I mean, you've got a lot of people of various skill levels submitting information. How does that work?
Yes, thankfully this is not a first rodeo for eBird reviewers, but it is quite a task. And this data is really important as it helps researchers track both abundance and population distribution of the world's birds long term. This is the 29th year that the Great Backyard Bird Count has run, so it gives us a really cool snapshot ahead of spring migration. As you know, bird populations are constantly changing, and no single scientist or even team of scientists could hope to track the complicated patterns of movement of species around the world all the time. So the information from the GBBC and what participants submit, combined with other surveys, of course, help scientists learn how birds are affected by environmental changes. And the information that you send in could provide the first sign for an individual species that might be increasing or declining year to year. So that data gathered over many years paints a more detailed picture of whether populations are expanding or shrinking. And big changes, noted consistently over a period of time, indicates that something could be happening in the environment for those birds that's affecting their population. So Great Backyard Bird Count information allows us to look at what kind of birds inhabit different areas, such as cities and suburbs, compared to more natural habitats. But it gives us that more detailed snapshot of where birds are ahead of spring migration. I like to say the biggest benefit to the Backyard Bird Count, though, is really the connection of so many people showing up for birds and getting to experience the joy of birds together over a single weekend.
Such an enormous number. Well, for listeners who are hearing us right now, hearing this conversation on or before Wednesday, February 11th, you're in time to watch a free YouTube webinar with more about taking part in the Great Backyard Bird Count, and it features author Julia Zarankin, a special guest. She was a guest on our show not long ago, and she wrote that wonderful book, Field Notes from an Unintentional Birder. And Olivia, to get onto that webinar, is there special instruction for that?
Yes, you can head to birdcount.org for all of your Great Backyard Bird Count information and participant info. And there you'll find a registration link for that free webinar. And bring your questions. We'll be answering questions live and in the chat, as well as hearing from our awesome guest speaker, Julia.
All right, that's on February 11th. Did you mention a time for that? I might have missed it.
That's 7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern, February 11th, a Wednesday. All right. Olivia Carvalho is the Community Engagement Specialist for Birds Canada, one of the three organizations presenting the Great Backyard Bird Count, February 13th through the 16th. And as Olivia said, easily remembered web address here, birdcount.org. You can also get connected, as Olivia said, to the webinar through that as well, birdcount.org. Olivia, thanks for the info and good luck with this year's great event.
Happy birding, Ray.
Thank you. Happy birding to you, Olivia. Olivia Carvalho here on Talking Birds, and up next, it's our Mystery Bird contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4-VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. Our mystery bird. There it is, our mystery bird. What is that bird? We'll give the description here again and invite you to call us now as soon as you possibly can. We tend to run out of time on our pretty short 30-minute show, so that's why we always urge those early phone calls. We do get calls when the show has ended quite regularly, so we'd like to avoid that. So here's the number. It's 781-837-4900. And I will give it again in a moment here. Our mystery bird is a medium-sized songbird with a gray back, white throat, chest, and belly. Its head is gray with a black mask that extends right up to its heavy, hooked black bill. Our bird winters over pretty much the entire southern half of the U.S. and down into Mexico. Breeds across the north central and northwestern U.S. and large swaths across Canada. It famously behaves like a raptor, like its northern cousin does, hunting prey from an elevated perch, diving onto prey, and immobilizing large prey items by impaling them on sharp objects like thorns or barbed wire, or by tucking them into forks between branches to save for later consumption. So, clues there, sound of our bird, and just quickly again about these beautiful prizes that we have, including a birding by ear course in the Larkwire app. Larkwire's highly customizable game-based courses have identification tips from some of the world's best birders, and you can master bird sounds while having fun doing it. That's kind of the idea there with Larkwire. And from Fresh Cut Paper, those beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets with just a small fraction of the carbon footprint of imported flowers. And they are really beautiful. You will love this if you win this prize. And by the way, Fresh Cut Paper plants a tree for every bouquet sold. Those are the prizes and all the other info, I hope, on the Mystery Bird Contest, except for that phone number again, and that is 781-837-4900. So please call us as soon as you can on the Mystery Bird Contest. Meanwhile, let's ask Mike live in just 1 minute.
A gentle breeze blows across your face as you take a refreshing sip of water, appreciating the stillness of another morning fishing on the lake. The distant gurgle of a stream reminds you of days spent playing in the creek, the cool, clear water rushing between your toes. You love this time with nature, the feeling of putting everything on hold to connect with the world around you. Now, imagine it's all gone. No fish, no lake, no water. One of life's most vital resources, irreplaceably depleted. Time is running out to protect fresh water, and without our love, it can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our fresh water. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Well, before the show, we talked to Mike O'Connor about his topic today, Easter Island, a place not maybe necessarily associated with birds, but associated with those giant monoliths above the cliffs, those giant, I guess you could call them sculptures. We'll ask Mike if that's a correct description or not, but he is with us, I believe, right now. Good morning, Mike.
Right, yeah, I'm here, and I just got finished shoveling my driveway for the 400th time this year, and so I decided, let's talk about something a little bit more tropical than snow and ice.
Yeah, do you want to rest for a while? We could call you back later, but you're okay, though, right?
Yeah, I'll just be puffing all the way through this conversation.
I like that
but
puffing,
yeah, this I found, and maybe some people already know about this,
Mm-hmm.
but I found this so interesting that the people on Easter Island, which is in the tropical Pacific, they have their own way of choosing a leader. Like, some people, some societies, the people elect a leader. Other people have electors or parliaments. Other people do it through royalty, through the bloodline. And other leaders gain power just by force. But the people on Easter Island, for a while, when they stopped making those giant heads, those moais, they came up with an even more novel idea to get a leader. And here's what they would do: the different clans would get together, and each clan member would pick someone to do this pretty bizarre task. So a group of, we'll say, men would climb down. Maybe there's like a dozen of them. Would climb down the cliffs to the ocean, dive into the ocean, swim a half a mile across this shark-infested water, and then climb up to a rock outcropping, climb up to the top, and at the top is where the bird part comes in, was a colony of sooty terns. Sooty terns are beautiful black and white terns. They're black on the back, white on the front. They have these long forked tails, and they spend all their life, except when breeding, out in the ocean. They don't even land. They just fly around the ocean, and then once a year they come and they land on a lot of places. But particularly in this case, on this little outcropping just off the coast of Easter Island. These men would climb up there, get into the colony, and the birds, which have been out in the ocean for all year, aren't in a hurry to nest. So sometimes they take 4 or 5, even 8 weeks before they start laying the eggs. But here's what happens. When they lay the egg, the first of these men to find the first egg of the year runs to the top of the cliff, waves it up. He says, I got the first egg.
Wow.
Climbs back in the water, swims across to the island, and hands it to the leader of this particular clan. And that guy, not the guy who did all the swimming, but that guy is we'll call him the king. He's not the king. They have a different name for him.
He's the boss, anyway.
He's the boss of the year.
Wow.
And it only lasts a year. But it's not, not for life, not like a king, not 4 years like a president, but just for a year. And he doesn't even do the work. There's this guy that has to swim across through the sharks and get the first sooty tern egg of the year. And it was working. They liked it. Yeah. And then what happened? The Western missionaries showed up in the 1800s and So just
kind of ruined the whole
better
thing.
idea. And they messed it up. But there you go.
Then I wonder what happens to the egg. I mean, does the swimmer at least get to keep the egg, or bring it back to the nest?
The guy kind of puts it on display or something like that.
I see.
Here's an odd thing. Years ago, a customer went to Easter Island and took a picture of that particular outcropping, and with one of our Birdwatchers General Store T-shirts, and had a picture taken. I didn't know the backstory. I just thought the guy was on an island like Nantucket or something. I didn't really understand what was going on, so I didn't give him a lot of attention. And then he explained it, and then he took a picture with the giant heads. Then I got it.
Then you caught on to the whole thing.
It. So, if you got some good ideas about birds, and they actually call it the Birdman cult.
The Birdman
cult. That was a real thing for a long time on Easter Island, and then the missionaries kind of
I thought it would just be an avian triathlon, but it's not. It's Birdman.
Well, that's coming up.
Or biathlon at least. Yeah, all right. You can report on that next time.
Egg-athlon.
Egg-athlon. Got it. Perfect. All right, Mike. Thank you.
All right. Happy Super Sunday.
Happy Super Sunday to you. Okay. And we'll talk to Mike again next week. But right now we need to get back to the mystery bird contest. While we have time to do that, I'll give the number again just in case: 781-837-4900. And by the way, this won't really help this week, but for next week and weeks ahead, if you're not hearing our show live and would like to, so you could enter our mystery bird contest, well, just go to talkingbirds.com and you'll see how to do it. It's very easy. Our live broadcast, by the way, if you're not listening live, is on Sunday mornings, 9:30 to 10 Eastern. And we have Lacey somewhere in the Ocean State, Rhode Island. Hello, Lacey.
Hello.
Hi there. Hi, Lacey. You heard our clues and all that stuff, and you say, what about our mystery bird?
I think that you're describing a northern shrike.
A northern shrike. That is what we call a really top-quality guess. I'll give you another guess that is such a top-quality guess. Would you like to try a second guess? We don't normally do that, but, you're so,
Oh,
so close.
Okay. So my other guess would be a loggerhead shrike?
Is that right? I think a loggerhead shrike might be correct.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you for the second guess.
I want to apologize to our other callers because we don't usually give a second guess, but there was something about your guess that was so close.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So you win those beautiful prizes, and we will send them to you if you will be kind enough to stay on the line, and Jesse will arrange that.
Sure thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lacey in Rhode Island. I'm going to say thanks to Scott up in, I wanted to ask him whether it's Bernard, Maine or Bernard, Maine. I've never heard of that town, so I should know about that, I'm sure. But anyway, thank you, Scott, for hanging on the line there. And please call us on next week's show. We will have another mystery bird contest and give away some great prizes. I think we have one of those big broom bird feeders on our next show. But that's it for this morning's show. Next week, a spokesman on the pro side of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's plan to cull barred owls to save spotted owls will be our guest. Plus, a salute to more countries that are trying to make our planet healthier for birds and other living creatures. Thanks to our amazing Talking Birds team, Debbie Bleacher, Freya McGregor, and our producing engineer, Jesse Wilkins. I'm Ray Brown, reminding you that you can enter next week's Mystery Bird Contest no matter where you are on planet Earth if you listen live. I think I just realized that I forgot to air our audio postcard from our own Debbie Bleacher. But we'll do that next week as well. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
The Bird Show. I like that.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.